Hey people of YouTube, today we're covering the complete installation of the 56-inch Bellmore ceiling fan by Hampton Bay. If you found this video, you might be stuck in your own installation and you're looking for some help, we're here to do just that. We've already unpacked the fan, we're going to go over all the parts and install this thing step by step all the way to turning it on and everything in between, so stick with us and we'll get you through it. If you want to, you can use the links down below to fast forward to any point in the installation, that way you don't have to watch the whole video. But if after watching you found it helpful, please click like and subscribe, and that'll help other people find it as well. So let's talk about the Bellmore ceiling fan for a second before we get started. This is an indoor dual mount fan. That means you can hang it from a standard flat ceiling with the included downrod, or you can hang it from a higher angled ceiling with an extension downrod sold separately. The fan has a 5-speed reversible DC motor, so that's going to give you more speed options and year-round energy efficiency. The remote has the reverse function, so you don't have to get on a ladder to change the fan direction. And the fan has some great quick fit installation features like a slide-on mounting bracket, blade brackets with captive screws, and the wire harness plug on the receiver that makes connecting to the fan quick and simple, and those features are going to make the installation go a bit easier. Now before we get started, just a couple of notes. You want to make sure that the electricity is turned off at the breaker box and at the wall switch. If you don't feel comfortable working around electricity, please consult with a licensed electrician. One other note is if you're hanging this fan where there is just a light fixture on your ceiling, you need to make sure that the outlet box is clearly marked acceptable for fan support. If not, you'll need to replace that before beginning. So as you can see here, we've already unpacked the fan and we've opened up the manual to the parts page. We're just going to go over all the parts to make sure we have everything before beginning, and that way we don't get stuck along the way. So first up, you'll have 5 reversible blades. Just pick the finish that's right for you. You have the ball and downrod assembly. You have 5 blade brackets. As mentioned, these have the captive screws to make installation easier. You have the slide-on mounting bracket. That comes pre-installed inside the canopy with a decorative ring on the bottom, and we'll show you in the first step how to remove that to get started. You have the decorative motor collar cover, the bottom plate, the fan motor. You have a hardware pack that has the blade attachment screws, the hanger and locking pin, and the plastic wire nuts. If installing with an extension downrod, you'll have this bit of extension wiring. You have the remote and receiver. As mentioned, the receiver has this quick connect wire harness plug to make connecting to the fan quick and simple. And the remote has a wall cradle for convenient storage when it's not in use, and the remote does include a reverse function. And the batteries are also included for your convenience. So we have all the parts. Just some tools we're going to need for this easy project. You need a flathead screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver. We like to have a long one and a short one on hand. We like to use a line voltage tester to make sure the wires aren't live before beginning. You may need some wire cutters and strippers. You'll need some electrical tape and of course a ladder. So we have everything here. We're ready to begin. Let's do this. The mounting bracket comes pre-installed inside the canopy with the decorative ring attached. To remove the mounting bracket, first pull off the decorative ring. It's magnetic, so it just pulls off. You'll notice an alignment post at the base of the canopy. You'll need to loosen, but not remove, the 2 screws in the base of the canopy, enough so that that alignment post can exit that hole. Once those 2 screws are loosened, you'll simply lift and twist the mounting bracket to remove it from the canopy. This fan features a slide-on mounting bracket to make installation easy. The mounting bracket has 2 slots that will align with the 2 screws in the outlet box. To install the mounting bracket, just align the slots of the mounting bracket with the 2 screws in the outlet box and slide the mounting bracket into place. This is just a demonstration. To install the mounting bracket, first loosen but do not remove the 2 screws in the outlet box. Next, feed the house supply lines through the mounting bracket and align the slots of the mounting bracket with the screws that were loosened in the outlet box. Then slide the mounting bracket into place. Then, use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten both of the outlet box screws and secure the mounting bracket. Make sure that both screws are completely tightened. Before routing the wires and attaching the downrod, you'll need to use a flathead screwdriver to loosen but not remove the set screw on the motor collar. Next, gently pull the green ground cable from inside the ball and downrod assembly. Place the downrod through the canopy so that the largest opening is facing towards the ball. Next, place the decorative ring onto the downrod, making sure that the black side with the notches is facing towards the canopy. The last piece is the decorative motor collar cover. Place that onto the downrod so that the largest opening is facing towards the threaded end of the downrod. Then route the wires through the downrod so that the end exits through the ball side and gently pull the wires through until the downrod meets the motor collar. Note the holes in the end of the downrod and the holes in the motor collar. When attaching the downrod, you'll screw the downrod into the motor collar until the holes on the end of the downrod align with the holes in the motor collar. Once those holes are aligned, use the hanger pin from the hardware pack and insert that pin through the holes on the motor collar until it exits the opposite side. Secure the hanger pin by inserting the locking pin through the end of the hanger pin. Once that pin is set, use a flathead screwdriver to completely tighten the set screw on the motor collar. Once the set screw is tightened, slide the motor collar cover and the canopy down the downrod until it meets the motor housing. Now the fan is ready to be hung. Before hanging the fan, it's important to note the slot in the ball that will engage the tab in the mounting bracket. When hanging, you'll insert the ball into the mounting bracket and then rotate the fan assembly until you feel the slot engage the tab. This is just a close-up demonstration. To hang the fan, lift the assembly up to the ceiling, noting the location of the tab and the slot. Slide the ball into the mounting bracket and then rotate the assembly until you feel that slot engage the tab in the mounting bracket. The fan will drop slightly when properly seated. When installing the receiver, make sure the flat side of the receiver is facing towards the ceiling. You'll notice that one side of the receiver has the quick connect wire plug to connect to the fan. The other side of the receiver has 3 wires to connect to the house wires. Slide the receiver into the mounting bracket antenna side first until it rests on top of the ball of the downrod. Begin wiring the fan by taking the plug from the fan wires and inserting that into the plug from the receiver. The connectors will simply snap together. Next, take the green wires from the ball and downrod assembly, mounting bracket, and receiver and twist those 3 wires together. Once those wires are connected, connect those wires with the bare copper house wire. This is the ground connection. Secure the connection using a plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Next, take the white wire from the receiver and twist that wire together with the white wire from the house supply lines. These are the neutral connections. Twist those 2 wires together and finish the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Finish the wiring by taking the black wire from the receiver and connecting that wire to the black wire from the house supply lines. This is the power connection. Twist those 2 wires together and secure the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Once all the wire connections have been made, gently tuck the wires around the mounting bracket and into the outlet box to make room for the canopy to attach. The canopy attaches to the mounting bracket using 2 keyhole slots on either side of the canopy that will align with the 2 screws at the base of the mounting bracket. Align those holes with the screws in the mounting bracket and push the canopy up so the screws come through the keyhole slots, and then twist to hold the canopy in place. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten those screws and secure the canopy. You can tilt the fan to make extra room for the screwdriver to access the screws. Make sure both screws are completely tight. The decorative ring is magnetic. You just need to align the slots of the decorative ring with the 2 screws at the base of the canopy, and then slide the decorative ring up, and it will attach itself to the bottom of the canopy. To assemble the blades, you'll need the bag of blade attachment screws from the hardware pack. The blade arms have 3 posts that will align with the 3 holes at the end of the blades. The blades are reversible, so choose the finish that you want and make sure that the opposite side is facing up. Then align the screw holes of the blade with the posts on the blade arm. Press the blade arm and the blades together, and then using a blade attachment screw, start 1 screw in each hole. Once all 3 screws are started, use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten all 3 screws. Repeat this process for the 4 remaining blades. The blade brackets attach to the fan using the pre-installed captive screws in the blade bracket. These screws will align with the 2 screw holes on the bottom of the motor. Place the blade bracket in position, aligning the screws with the holes, and then use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten the blade bracket. Repeat this process for the 4 remaining blades. Make sure all of the blade bracket screws are completely tightened before proceeding. Attach the bottom plate to the threaded post on the base of the fan. Screw the plate on until it is tight. Before using the remote, you'll need to insert the batteries that were included. Slide the battery compartment cover off the back of the remote and then insert the batteries according to the diagram inside the battery compartment. Once the batteries are inserted, replace the battery cover by sliding it onto the back of the remote. The remote has been paired with the fan at the factory. If you need to pair the remote, start with the power off at the breaker box or wall switch, then turn power back on, and within 30 seconds press and release the Learn button in the battery compartment of the remote. Once the remote is paired, the blades will begin to spin. To use a second remote with the fan, repeat this process, but press and hold the Learn button on the second remote for 10 seconds. To attach the wall cradle to the wall, begin by removing the screw cover by sliding it out of the wall cradle. Then choose a position on the wall where you'd like to store the remote when not in use. Use the included screws and a Phillips head screwdriver to attach the wall cradle to the wall. Make sure both screws are tight. You may want to use anchors that are also provided when attaching the wall cradle to the wall. Once the screws are tight, reinsert the screw cover into the slots of the wall cradle. This fan features a full function remote control. Press the power button to turn the fan on or off. Press the fan speed button to cycle through the fan's 5 speeds. Press the fan direction button to change the direction of the fan's rotation for seasonal changes. The fan must be on and running for this button to work. The fan direction button will not work if the fan is not rotating. Once the button is pushed, the fan will slow to a stop and then restart in the opposite direction. When starting the fan, you may notice that the fan moves back and forth or seems to stutter before starting up. This is completely normal for a DC motor ceiling fan. This is just the magnetic poles in the DC motor aligning and starting the fan up. Congratulations! The ceiling fan installation is now complete. Time to sit back, relax with a nice tall beverage, and enjoy your new ceiling fan. As always, thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please click like and subscribe down below, and that'll help other people find it as well. And as we always say around here, keep it breezy.